need it because of that glare. All right, let's track the weekend. And the big story, of course, is the snow starting today. Travelers, heads up. Kids, heads up, because when you get home from school today, we're going to see some new snow for you. South Dakota, Nebraska, into Iowa today. Tonight, we're going to track the whole system, moving into northern Illinois, moving into lower Michigan. The low itself tracking on up into Canada. So we'll see some rain, a very chilly rain on Saturday in places like Columbus, Ohio. Big game there. Got Ohio State and Michigan State. We are going to be looking for a very chilly, windy, rainy day. Then we go to Madison, Wisconsin, where we are talking snow wrapping up before game time at 2:30. They're going to, of course, make priority to clear the stadium first, the field first, and then the stands. But you might have some extra snow out there as we look ahead to your forecast. And then Sunday, we track the whole thing out, the low pulling up into Canada, a little rain left into the south and east. Steph. Those games coming their way will cause some issues on the roads out there starting tomorrow. So let's talk about today, though. We're going to Indianapolis, where we did have a little snow yesterday. Today, temperatures are going up into the 20s. Will be mostly cloudy. Things are looking up for us here. So let's check out what's going on. You know, after yesterday's snow, the fact that temperatures are in the teens this morning means that we could have slick areas out there. Watching Chicago, Indy, down towards Cincinnati, where we picked up a couple of inches. We're in the teens right now. So that's going to be an issue for spots that didn't get cleared yesterday. Now, as we look at today's outlook, we're going to see clouds overspreading the area, mostly cloudy conditions, active weather from Kansas to Missouri. That's where Winter Storm Jonas will be dropping some snow today. Otherwise, we're looking fairly quiet through the rest of the Midwest. Temperatures getting up closer to average, warming up from yesterday, upper 20s for our high temperatures today across the area. So that's what's happening here in the Midwest. Let's take a look at Chicago. The story today is that we get closer to average for temperatures, and then we get to the weekend, and we're going above average. Saturday, Sunday, we're going to 38 degrees, and Monday, we're staying in the mid-30s. With Winter Storm Jonas, this is the system that yesterday brought some snow across the northern Rockies. Today, it will bring some snow into Kansas and Missouri, then into the Tennessee Valley, and then we'll track it through the mid-Atlantic and up along the eastern seaboard. We are looking for the risk of storms today, too. Severe weather in Texas, in Louisiana. It's overnight tonight in the Florida Panhandle. Tomorrow in central Florida. Tomorrow is going to be a busy day. It's a day where you sort of rush everything to completion in the mid-Atlantic in terms of your preparations for the storms. We're talking about Charlottesville and D.C. and down towards Roanoke. North Carolina, be ready. You could have some icy conditions that keep you inside on Friday. Saturday, the storm moving out to sea. By Sunday, it's gone. I mean, there may be a little bit of active weather left early in the day route towards the Cape, but otherwise skies clearing, winds calming down. Look at temperatures. It's not crazy cold behind the system either, which is always, I think, an interesting note here. So you will be able to clean off that driveway and get out by Sunday. And risks today into beaches of California. Again, tell you what, so be careful out there. I know a lot of spring breakers are heading to the beach. Be careful and heed those warnings. Now, we're going to take you into the Northeast, where we say good morning to you. Times Square, looking a little foggy this morning, but not too bad. It's warming up today. This kind of happens. We get this foggy look sometimes, right, when temperatures are warming up, humidity is coming back, winds are out of the south. So today is going to be a fairly nice warm day. Temperatures start about 50 in New York City, Boston 47. South wind doing that for us today. Now, if you're right along the coastline, you'll be a little bit cooler, but overall, nice day. WrestleMania, by the way, on this date 31 years ago, this is the place that right down the road at Madison Square Garden, that was 1985, your first date. So here you go today. A warm day on that anniversary. We're going to be looking at temperatures into the low 70s. Today, it's going to be a warm day. This is out ahead of everything coming our way. So enjoy today. Conditions do go downhill by tomorrow. Week into the weekend, you know, that cold is going to be a big story this weekend. Before we get there, the chill is in the Mountain West. New snow has been falling. Laramie just picked up another couple of inches. Denver, some rain showers today, some snow once you head up into the mountains. Tomorrow, the front moving east will bring rain and possible thunderstorms and travel delays on your Friday. You've got that in New York City. You've got that in Atlanta for the first part of the day anyway. And then the rain does hang on into parts of the Northeast by Saturday. But then you see that snow and the chill in the air coming your way by Sunday. New York City, yes, you could see some snow showers or some flurries flying around on your Sunday. Very chilly start to the day as well. And temperatures running below average across a good chunk of the east. 2012, I mean, definitely have memories of the South and how hot it got in 2012, especially in late June, if you guys remember. So, you know, of course, we'll talk more about that in the coming days and weeks and months. But let's talk about the here and now. We've got today's forecast, and we're getting into the weekend. It is Thursday. It is Friday Eve, and it's going to be a busy couple of days. We've got severe weather today, flash flood watches out for millions today. Tomorrow, we keep the severe weather threat going, and we're going to be looking for storms from the mid-Atlantic to the southeast, even into the northeast. And even if they're not severe, it is going to be disruptive to travel. Then by Saturday, the front on the move. I have to say it's a little slower than you might like across the south. You got your Cooper River Bridge run into Charleston. It's a fantastic event. That's one of the top 10 running events in the country. And unfortunately, you got rain out there this weekend for that. But the front moves through in the south by Sunday and things clear out. Macon, Georgia's got your Cherry Blossom Festival wrapping up this weekend. Looks good for that. In D.C., you've got the Cherry Blossom 10-miler going on Sunday, and the weather actually does look better for that, but a little on the cool side to start. That's going to be the thing to know, that temperatures are going to be cooling down. Now, we know a lot of you want to get out this soon. Things clear out and we will dry out. But we look at right now a couple of showers out here across Connecticut, Rhode Island, and it is rain in Hartford. You know, that's pretty much moving on out now. There is some snow, and saw that around Worcester. Most spots it's a mix of rain and snow. It's fairly light, and we're not looking at any big accumulation happening here this morning. Temperatures are actually near the freezing mark or above in most spots. Boston, here you go, starting your morning with some rain out there. Up towards Burlington, this is where we do have temperatures cold enough to get some snow. It's very light, and it's very sort of sloppy and wet kind of snow for us this morning. Now, as we take a look at the radar and take it out through today, this morning we've got an active radar, but as we get into the afternoon, things will start to quiet down and dry up, and we'll get all this precip to move on out. The evening rush home should be much better, as you can see. But there's a sign of what's to come, the lake effect. That's the big story for Thursday into Friday into Saturday. And you sort of see signs of the winds moving over the lakes. That's what's to come in terms of snowfall and the big accumulations. What we're going to see through today will be fairly light, maybe 1 to 3 inches max, and really elevation. We'll see that here across the greens and whites in Vermont and New Hampshire. Boston, for us, it's a couple of rain showers, maybe a little drizzle this morning. But look at our temperatures. We're in the low 40s to start the day, and we're going to see it stay that way. Not a lot of budging of temperatures, but it's not going to be freezing, so we won't be looking at issues on the roadways. Burlington, for us, a couple of snowflakes this morning, and then we're going to see temperatures again steady, but for us, it's in the mid to upper 30s. So again, not a lot of accumulation coming. Western Minnesota, too. You're right in that mix. So here's what's happening right now. It's not just about the wind and the snow. It's about the wind and the temperatures. The wind chill factor is all of a sudden a big deal. We've got the feels like sub-zero. Sioux Falls, Bismarck, it feels like 17 below. It feels like 11 below in Sioux Falls. We've got Chicago feeling like 13, in Green Bay 11, and it's going to get worse. Temperatures are going to keep tumbling, and so that's the big part of the problem. The wind stays pretty gusty. So big dip in our jet stream. We've got some very cold air from the Northwestern Territories up in Canada and even beyond. Arctic air, true Arctic air that is able to come south, and we are going to be looking for this cold air to stay put for a couple of days here. Temperatures like you haven't seen in at least a year, if not 2 years for some folks, like in Montana and in Colorado. We're going to see temperatures colder than we've seen in nearly 700 days. So Minneapolis, for us, the high today is 21. Chicago, the high today is 30. Bismarck, 7 is our high temperature. That's it for today. And that doesn't factor in the wind chill. It will feel even colder. Bismarck tomorrow, 4. That's our high temperature. Rapid City only 13. In Bismarck, you know, that 9 inches of snow you picked up yesterday, that's a factor in keeping you so cold. You got that refrigerator effect going. It's going to be a chilly day and overnight over the next couple of days. Kansas City, these are highs, only in the 20s. Chicago, and you know, I had to sort of double check these temperatures to make sure they are highs and not lows. That's how cold it's going to be. All right, let's talk about the wind chill. This is today, so it's going to feel below 0 in Fargo. It'll feel like 7 below. It'll feel like 3 in Minneapolis as you walk the dog this morning before you get the kids dressed for the bus stop. And speaking of getting them dressed, be ready for feels like near 0 up here in Minnesota, North Dakota, Chicago, single digits. That's what it will feel like. We get into the weekend in view, because actually the lake effect snow will still be a story getting into the weekend. Today, we've got what's left of that little system moving through the northeast and moving on out. It's a no big deal kind of precip event this morning. We've got our western system, and this is a huge deal. This is going to bring very strong winds to Seattle, to Portland. We could see winds in Portland, Oregon from the east gusting anywhere from 30 to 40 or maybe even up to 50 miles an hour. And that's going to be a cold wind as well. We're going to see Seattle with some rain. Portland will have to watch your precip type as well. Rain spreading down the west coast. That becomes our weather maker for the weekend. That starts to move in, and we see snowfall back into North and South Dakota, into Minnesota, maybe even into Chicago. By the way, the chill stays around right through the weekend. Temperatures are going to stay below average in a lot of spots far Fargo only in the single digits. Chicago only 32 degrees. Wait to see next week's temperatures too. They're even colder. Coming up, we've got to check on the roads with Amy going on in the upper Midwest too. We'll get to that. Snow still swirling around in a minute. But let me show you what's happening. The radar looks pretty busy out here in the Northeast, right? But you also see the direction that it's moving out. So it will be getting out of here before the end of the day. But for now, we've got some snow in Worcester, Massachusetts. New Haven, we've had a little bit of everything. You just had a few snowflakes mixing in with your, maybe even some sleet mixing with your rain. But it's mainly rain there. Hartford, the rain that we had has ended. Providence, we're getting rain right now. Boston, it's 40 and raining. But there is some snow in your commute coming in this morning from New Hampshire or Western Mass. So be careful out there on the Mass Pike. Now, we have snow and 32 degrees in Burlington. That's where, of course, it's cold enough to accumulate. We could get another inch or so of snowfall there. You see what happens, though, through today. Things kind of go poof into the afternoon, moving out, and we dry out. And we're looking for much better conditions for the commute home than you have this morning. We look at how much snowfall. It's mainly an elevation event where you could get a couple of inches. Everyone else, it's barely anything. I mean, even in Worcester, you're pretty much done there. Picked up some light snow overnight. Burlington, we're pretty much done. We can maybe pick up another inch or so in a few spots. Boston, for us, it's all rain. Our temperatures are near 40 this morning, and we're going to stay there, but we're not going to move. Temperature-wise, look at this. Low 40s all day. A very raw and damp kind of day, even after the precip ends. Burlington, Vermont, the snow we have this morning is about over, and then we pretty much stay where we are temperature-wise as well. All right, let's go. Even if snow isn't falling, snow just has to be reducing, blowing snow has to be reducing visibility to less than a quarter of a mile with winds over 35 miles per hour or greater for 3 hours. So that's been happening in Fargo. The other story is the wind chill. So the wind is blowing. The temperatures are getting colder by the minute. We've got a temperature of 16 degrees right now with that wind at 25 miles per hour, making it feel like 3 below. 30 minutes outside if you're not covered up, and you could be looking at frostbite. That wind chill chart is going to be very useful in the coming days. And next week, too, by the way, there's another round of even colder air coming in next week, so get ready for that. Today, we are looking at a high temperature in Bismarck at 7. That nice big snowpack we got of about 9 inches, that's going to help keep us cold and chill. And tomorrow, only 4 for high in Bismarck. Minneapolis will be in the 20s. Look at Friday morning. Minneapolis teens, we got 12 for you. Bismarck, we've got 13 below. Rapid City 1 below, and again, that snowpack there, the pretty deep snowpack, is going to be an issue. All right, let's take you coast to coast right now and check in on your Wednesday morning weather headlines.